Hi, I'm Alex Stone here at Fireco. I'm a key account manager here. I'm going to talk to you today about our Pro range. This is our system that isn't acoustic, it works on a radio signal. You might want to think, why would you go for a radio system over, say, a wired system? A wired system, you've got the cost of running the cables, you've got drilling through the walls, you've got then having to make good afterwards, and you might have compromised your compartmentation. And then also just the cost of painting and decorating afterwards to make it good again. So some of the reasons why someone might want to go for a radio system, we've really got asbestos on site, we really don't want to be disturbing that. So this would be an option in any of those cases where you might consider going for a radio system. This is our ProHub here, and it does wire into the fire panel, and it wires into either just your fire or also your fire and fault. That means it can be part of a critical system, so that means you can put it on higher risk areas as well. The ProHub can have up to 500 devices paired to it that it controls, from extenders to get the range over such a large site to the radio Dorgard Pros and the radio Freedor Pro. The extenders, they just bind to the parents, and they all bind very simply into its own closed network that the ProHub creates. You have the door guards here, which might look familiar, but again, these are radio ones. If you're not familiar, they go on the bottom of the door, and the plunger grips on the floor to hold the door open safely. Why might you want to hold open a fire door? Whatever environment you go to that has fire doors, you see wedged open fire doors. Whether that's a school, a hospital, care home, office, anywhere where there's fire doors, you see them wedged or propped open with something. Hotels as well. Door guards are a really simple way of holding them open safely. And again, this is a radio way of doing it instead of having to run cables everywhere or rely potentially on sounders. Also on the system, you've got the Freedor. So rather than just being a retainer like the door guard, this will replace the closer you have on the top of the fire door. Being a free swing closer, it takes all the weight out of the door, so it's easy to open and close. Why would you want to have a free swing closer? It could be that you have people with any sort of disabilities, or as we get older we lose strength, and fire doors can be difficult, they can be a real obstacle. This makes it easy to open and close. People have got their independence and privacy because they can close the doors. Into schools where I've seen children, they're too small to open a heavy fire door, and they have to be chaperoned around the building, whereas this means that the kids can go around. So that's less staff at school, less staff at care homes, anywhere where you can just give people the freedom and independence to move around. Having said that, even just in places like hotels, being able to leave the door open and make it easy for people means the whole building is accessible for everyone. What I'm going to do is just do a quick test on the fire panel. Again, this is wired into the fire panel, and then all these devices are on the radio network. So right now, they all started beeping to say, I've received a signal from my parents and I'm going to close the door. The fire panel is still in fire, or if it was still in fault as well. So you can see the plunger will not stay down, and the free door would not go back into free swing. You take the panel out of fire, and then the whole system resets, and it will then, after a few seconds, the plunger will stay down. So you just go around and open the doors, and it's the same with the free door. Open it up to its matching angle, it's done, and it's back into free swing. It's as simple as that. So that is the radio version of the products on the doors themselves. What you also have is the software that you can then run. You can take control of your system. You can check battery levels, door status, radio signal. If you click on an open door, it will close the door. It will radio signal backwards and forwards. You can name where they are, so it's easy to find. If anything was in fault, it would come to the top. You can close all the doors if you wish, and then you can do a timer to close the doors in the evening. And it's a pretty simple process tree that goes down showing the whole site. And that is my cue to end the video. Thanks for watching, and any questions, do get in contact. We'd love to arrange a site survey for you to make sure the radio signal is strong where you are.